Will 2020. The reason why I want us to know these people is because Kenya Kwanza regime got into power because of the fact that they convinced people that they were going to be pro-people, and every policy that they were going to implement was going to...
It gives me great pleasure to be with you in this very important tea conference here in Kericho. I'm happy that for the first time, we have a sensitive government that is committed, that is really focused in addressing the issues that really touch on the well-being of our farmers in this country. It is worth noting that tea, the role tea plays in our economy, is in a way that it is one of the largest foreign exchange earners in this country, and for that matter, its importance cannot be overemphasized. And when we meet here today, we meet here to really reflect and see the challenges that this tea sector faces and how best we can be able to bring around the reforms that will go towards ensuring that we have the best of the prices for our farmers. The little experience that I've gained as the CS Agriculture in the last 7 months, and which I would want to briefly share because this meeting is for the Deputy President, is that when the Kenya Kwanza administration was coming into being, they made pledges to the people of this country. And one of the pledges that I remember was made, there was an issue of the guaranteed minimum returns of our produce. The experience I've been able to gather, and which I want really to ask the sector players to consider, is because some of the challenges that we are faced that include that are not limited to the increased cost of production occasioned by high costs of inputs also arise as a result of poor governance, and at the same time, failure by some of the sector players to work closely together to ensure that prices are set at certain levels. I have visited the tea auction in Mombasa as the CS, and I just want to commend some of the sector players that have placed the minimum return on their tea at the auction at above $2.4. The others that have made it for free for all, and they can sell at any price, and that this is what is really pushing our cost, the cost of tea below the standards that have been set by the others. Your Excellency, you remember when we had a serious problem of the allocation of dollars in one of our greatest buyers of tea in Pakistan. I led a delegation to Pakistan, where I had high-level discussions with the leaders in Pakistan. And out of that discussion, tea was listed as one of the essential commodities in Pakistan. And it is due to that the allocation of dollars to the brokers, to the buyers of tea, was done by the Bank of Pakistan. And we were able to address the problems of the foreign exchange issues that there were. But what shocked me, during that particular trip, when I had a meeting in one of the evenings for dinner with the tea buyers, is one, I think Senator or the Governor has spoken about. One of the buyers of tea said, and I quote, that Kenya produces one of the very best teas in the world, but is not able to attract the best price for it. That is what one of the buyers said. And when I tried to ask what that statement meant, that is how I discovered that as KTNDA has set a price, a minimum price for every kilo of tea, then the other independent players are not bothered, are not worried, and can now even be able to sell their tea at a price lower than the $2.4. Being a business person, you also realize that you will not be able to buy a 2.4 or 3 when somebody is selling you the same quality tea from the same region at a price lower than the $2. I am giving this example so that this conference, as we sit here, we are able to come up with suggestions on how ideas on how we can be able to take advantage of the quality of our tea so that we can be able to maximize or get more better prices by really setting minimum prices for our tea in the international markets. That is one of the things that I expect or hope that this meeting can easily be able to achieve. Yes, it is true, and government has been, and we want to thank His Excellency the President, his deputy, because they have made specific mentions to address the problems of our farmers. I specifically want to say, and which we appreciate, and pass our regards and thanks from the farmers' fraternity, that in the last year when every other farmer was getting the fertilizer subsidy, our farmers were able to get fertilizer subsidy. What this means is that the cost of production, because it has been skyrocketing, government itself is putting specific interventions to address the cost of production so that our farmers are able to get better prices for their tea. And as the government endeavors to do this, I think it's all important now we all work out together, come reason together and see what is it that we can do to ensure our prices are stabilized, to ensure we are able to increase production and productivity. But I want to imagine that this responsibility, government having taken it this seriously, the farmers of this country, who constitute a greater majority of those people at the lowest of the pyramid, will have something to smile about. To give you the necessary support. We will do what we can to ensure the greater agenda of this administration is achieved. And I do not believe, and I am sure, this being your meeting, we are supposed to listen to you and then give the opportunity to our farmers who rarely have a time so that we are able to see or understand from them what is best that they think we need to do to address their issues. So with that, with those remarks, Your Excellency, it's now my duty and single privilege to really welcome you to address this gathering. Tusimame tukaribishe naibu wa rais aweze tuzungumze. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, the Honorable Mithika Linturi, the Minister for Roads and Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen, our host Governor of Kericho, Dr. Eric Mutai, Excellencies Governors present, the Leader of Majority in the Senate, Honorable Senators, Members of Parliament, Board of Directors of KTDA, the officials, and our farmers, and the stakeholders in the tea subsector. Good morning. God is good, and all the time. Salimeni kwa hewa. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Thank you. I welcome you all to this special summit on the tea subsector reforms in the beautiful county of Kericho, the country's leading producer of tea. The agriculture sector contributes 22% to our national gross domestic product, with the tea subsector accounting for 2%. With over 650,000 growers spread in 18 counties, Kenya is a leading global producer and exporter of various types of tea, with black tea accounting for at least 95% of the sold crop. Over the years, tea has earned the country foreign exchange. For instance, in 2022, the subsector recorded 20.9%, the highest foreign exchange earnings of 163 billion due to competitive export prices. This was an increase from 130 billion Kenya shillings registered in 2021. This is in spite of the low production across the country as a result of prolonged drought. Distinguished farmers and delegates, tea posted positive results despite geopolitical and internal instabilities in major markets like Russia and Pakistan. The price of 100 kg bag of tea increased to 29,000 Kenya shillings in 2022 from Kenya shillings 23,000 the previous year. That is an increase of about 294 shillings per kilo. Apart from expansion of the existing market, the demand has been on the rise. That is why Pakistan, for instance, imported 20.6% more tea than in the previous year of 2021. Besides keeping traditional markets such as Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom, Kenya made more inroads in Africa. It was among first member states parties to trade in tea under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement with Ghana. Distinguished farmers, the international market size for tea remains healthy. It is projected to grow to up to 6.7% by the year 2031, exceeding $93.2 billion. Consumption of black tea alone, which Kenya produces most, is expected to grow by over 2% in the next decade. Despite the current stable and favorable market, our smallholder tea farmer remains at the bottom of the pyramid. The farmer is pressed by high cost of production. They also bear the burden of huge operational costs. In spite of Kenya producing distinct flavors of tea, the market does not take care of the best interests of the farmer. The farmer has no power to determine the price, yet this is a much sought commodity across the globe, even when sold in raw form. In other words, the farmer who puts most efforts earns the least. In simple terms, the pyramid is inverted against the farmer. The farmer is struggling economically. Distinguished farmers and delegates, that is why we are here today. President William Ruto, in Executive Order Number 1, 2023, tasked me with the responsibility to lead public reforms commencement. This will feed into the Kenya Kwanza plan of value addition to the tea, which will multiply the earnings of our farmer. Currently, up to 95% of our tea is exported in raw form. This means farmers do not get maximum value for their sweat. In addition, we want our farmers to earn more from specialty tea. This is how we will stabilize and strengthen our economy, promoting a strong tea brand internationally. As I conclude, for the record, I wish to state that President William Ruto and I have zero vested interest in the tea subsector. And that is why these reforms will succeed, because there will be no conflict of interest. Sisi uhusiano wetu na chai na rais ni ile tu iko kwa kikombe peke yake. Hatuna interest ingine. We only want the farmer to thrive. I therefore invite you to an open as explore lasting legal, policy, administrative and operational strategies of returning the tea money to where it belongs, to the farmer. When I was coming last night and I flew over the tea plantations, as I looked down and appreciated the beauty, the serene vegetation, how beautiful the tea looks. I asked for the farmers who farm tea to look equally beautiful like the tea bushes. Mifuko yao. Are so beautiful. It's a sight to behold. But beside that beauty is misery for the farmer. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa tuongee. Na tuongee ukweli. Na muko na nafasi hapa na uhuru ya kuzungumza. Mimi nitaketi hapa mpaka jioni. Hao wakulima ya chai. So I want to invite you to be very honest and brutally truthful. Pahali unajua iko shida useme. Usiposema leo ukimya milele. To have about this tea. We cannot every year tunaongea nini museme leo. Mutasema? Wale wananyanyasa nyinyi, wale wanaumiza nyinyi, pale mnajua pesa napotea. It is the time to say today. And I want to assure you, like we did in coffee, ile yote mutasema tutarekebisha sheria na rais na mimi na waziri tutafuatilia. It will happen. I want to in pushing the Tea Act. Lakini baada ya hiyo sheria haijatekelezwa, imelaliwa, si ndio? Because the government that was there was not keen. Sheria iko nzuri, inaweza okoa mlima, lakini the implementation, some people are still doing things the way they were doing before the enactment of the Tea Act. I want to give you an undertaking from Kericho on behalf of my boss, President William Ruto, that the reforms we are going to agree on, our two houses of parliament where we have the majority, the Senate and the National Assembly, will make the various amendments into law. Thereafter, the President and I and the ministers responsible will ensure 100% compliance with the law. This is part of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And we are very serious about it. It cannot be that I'm here in Kericho for 3 days just to hang around. Na hii baridi ya Kericho, siwezi kuja hapa na hii baridi. Sisi tumekuja hapa kazi. Na hii kazi, you know, many people when we were doing coffee, those cartels thought that ni ile mchezo wamezoea. Ati watu wanaongea, alafu wanatutafuta milioni 10, milioni 20, alafu hiyo maneno nasahaulika. I want to tell the people who are here in all the sectors, KTDA, T-Board, Nani, it's not business as usual. And these 2 days here is not a joke. And everybody will have to align. Even as we make the amendments, from Monday we'll enforce the T Act that is presently in place. We'll enforce. Na wale watazuia, tutaweka kando. So the T Act will be implemented as it is, as even we seek amendments, because already Senator Cheriot and Parliament did a good job. And if that thing had been implemented, we will be 50% successful. We will be dealing with the remaining 50%. So, even as we listen to you and we get our 2 houses here, we'll first implement what is in place so that watu waone hakuna mchezo. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kumkaribisha kwa mazungumzo open. Huyu gavana wa Embu aliogea kule Meru mambo ya kahawa, watu wakatetemeka, makatelo wakatoroka, walikuwa huko ndani. Leo ndio maneno tell us what we need to do. It cannot be chai tukienda London, we cannot afford because of how expensive it is, na imetoka hapa kwetu. Alafu mkulima hakuna kitu anapata. Lazima Davis Churchill tumemtuma huko nchi za Waarabu kutafutia sisi petroli na diesel ya bei rahisi. Atajiunga na sisi kesho. Tuko we have mtoto wenu hapa Kipchumba Murkomen, mtoto hapa nyumbani. Akuje pia hata kama kwa mambo ya barabara, atuambie hii chai kama itafika Mombasa ama maneno yao pia. Ndio nikienda pale kwa cabinet, you also support me. So the governors who have come, asanteni sana. Senators, asanteni sana. Members of parliament, asanteni sana. Board of directors of KTDA, wakulima, asanteni sana. I believe my people have taken good care of you and they will continue taking care of you until tumalizane naye. Kwa hivyo kwa hayo mengi, I want now to declare this summit officially open and ask for discussion. Nani naendesha maneno? Ruhusu ni wewe? Haya, kuja tuanze.
Your Excellency, that will ensure that this sector that has already placed our flag up high in the global scenario, we really do thank you. Your Excellency, sir, tea growing in Kenya ranked 3rd globally after China and after Asia. But how do we get it to be the very first? Bearing in mind, in the year 2018, we were the largest exporters of black tea. Your Excellency, sir, I wish at this juncture to get to a very important session where we have a plenary to invite all stakeholders, the farmers present here, to air what exactly is the current position in the tea sector. What challenges do they face? How do we better this sector? I wish to invite Nandi County Governor, His Excellency Stephen Sang, to take us through this session. Karibu, Your Excellency. And of course, as the Excellency Governor makes his way, remember that production of tea in Kenya, 60% is done by the small-scale farmers and 40% by the large producers. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, asante sana. We want to now go the real bottom up. The next session is being moderated by myself and the PS Crops, but I will be able to start the process. And as you can see in our program, we are looking at the farmers' plenary session. What do you want us, or what do you want with regard to tea, and how do we get there? And we will be addressing ourselves to three critical areas. What is the current state? What is the desired future state? And what are the strategies to get us there? And as said by the Deputy President, this is an opportunity for you to speak. Na hata kama kuna farmer atataka kuongea na lugha, utaongea na lugha. Sisi tutatafsiri. We do not want your points to be lost in the language, in the difficulty ya language. Ukitaka kuzungumza na Kiswahili, hapo ni sawa. Ukitaka kuzungumza na Kiingereza, ni sawa. Ukisukuma pia na Kikale, we are going to be available to listen to you and even to do some bit of translations. So our farmers, I know you have already sat down and organized yourselves. And we now want to have the first panel. And we are going to have a panel of about 4 or 5. Let's have 5 seats. And the plenary session here is talking about farmers. We are looking at farmers, and we are looking at factories for purposes of helping us process this first session. Where are they, tafadhali farmers? You know yourselves. I think the team you had identified yourself. Your Excellency, part of the discussions that we are hoping to achieve here today is that as we also have that difficulty in understanding the differences in farmers' prices with regard to what the consumers pay, there is also another small disparity within the eastern side. There is a huge difference in terms of disparity in terms of prices for our farmers. So the question that we also want to understand, what is it that makes the tea from this region, the western region, attract less eastern region attracts a fairer good? And as we get the other farmers, as we just organize our farmers here, can Your Excellency, in 1 or 2 minutes, I want to take this opportunity to, where is the other microphone? Just give the members of parliament to mention their names and the constituencies as we conclude the setting up of the farmers here. I think we had just done a blanket introduction. Where is the other microphone? To members of parliament, your name and your constituency as we get our farmers here.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and all going area. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Nelson Koech, from a constituency that has a lot of myths to its name. Belgut apparently was, there was tea tasting school in Kabianga just before independence. Chai, akaweka hapo, akaenda. He came after 6 months, akasema, this place has very good tea. But because walikuwa naishi hapo, mkisia very good constituency. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Kericho Mingoi, Member of Parliament from Bureti constituency. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brighton Yegon.
Parliament Sigawitso in constituency Karibu Kericho. Asante.
Proceed. The other.
Good morning, Your Excellency, our DP, and all protocol observed. I'm Dr. Kahai Adagala, MP, Vihiga County. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency, all protocol.
One of the best.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and distinguished guests who are here. My name is Bernard Kitur, Member of Parliament for Nandi Hills constituency, a constituency that almost 65% is covered by tea, both multinational and small-scale holders. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Joseph Kiptol Elmengit, Member of Parliament for Mgwen constituency in Nandi. I'm also interested, I have interest in tea because I have 4 factories, including Chebut, Kilibwani.
Good morning. My name is Marianne Kitany, MP Aldai constituency, that is in Nandi County, a tea growing area, and about 100% of my small-scale farmers. And we have 2 tea factories. One is run by the SACCO. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Nakaribu Kericho. My name is Hilary Kosgei, MP for Kipkelian West. We have tea plantations on the upper part of Kipkelian, but currently delivered to Tindiret factories.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Joseph Cherorot, representing the great people of Kipkelian East, which is a front office to Kericho County. We do tea and coffee in that area. I have several multinational companies in my constituency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Double N, Embu Woman Representative. And in Embu, we also have tea. We have factory in Rokorire, Mongania, and Kadangarire. And welcome to Embu once again, the land of opportunities. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Ambassador Francis Sigei, MB Sotik. I'm a very small-scale farmer, very small. And I have a lot of farmers in my area. And Your Excellency, you are welcome to this seminar. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, His Excellency. I'm Peter Kihungi, MP Kangema, and also a tea farmer.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and all the stakeholders here. My name is Beatrice